What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here. So, I've definitely been late. I apologize for being tardy when it comes to this whole E3 thing. I got home after E3 and I was so jet lagged. I shouldn't have even done the shit I did do. But anyway, I'm getting to you with my Microsoft E3 review. So first off, the conference it was in this room as I'm showing you right now, in the Galen Center where it usually always is. I was somewhere down there. I can't exactly pinpoint. I was on the right somewhere. So it was a really impressive stage. They got the green the green lights everywhere. They really made it feel extremely Xbox orientated. All right, so then obviously what did they start it out with? They started it out with the reveal of the Xbox One X. So if you like it or not, it is called the Xbox One X. It's not called the Scorpio. I remember a few people, speculating maybe they're going to call it the Scorpio. It's definitely not the case. They definitely went away from that, that Scorpio feeling. I understand it's not easy to mass market the way they figured they would want to. So Xbox One X keeps it in the family. And, I might not agree completely with the name, but as sooner or later it'll latch on to me. I'll get over it. Then they went to Forza Motorsport 7. It's their key franchise, the Forza franchise. It's a very beloved racing game. I'm not a racer, so, I don't know. It looked phenomenal. They showed the car on the stage. It's coming to Windows also, 4K 60. So it's definitely a good way to start it when it comes to game-wise. Next one they went into was Metro. A lot of people didn't expect this. I didn't really expect this either. It was the last game I really expected. They didn't show the name till afterwards. So I kind of figured it was Metro, but the way it was looking like, his mask was off for the majority of the time. He was upside on, on the ground surface. So in Metroid's, their atmosphere is a little bit poisonous. So I didn't know if it was Metroid or not. It's clearly, not an exclusive or anything like that. But what it showed solid. But they did say that wasn't gameplay. That was just made in the game engine. So this game, definitely a while before it comes out. Next thing was Assassin's Creed Origins. This game was definitely one of the highlights of the show. They replaced Eagle Vision with, a legit eagle. So, you can fly around, mark people, it's surface anything you can climb at all. It's got some slowdown motion effects. They completely rebranded the entire fighting mechanics of it. This game might be a Game of the Year contender, definitely. So next thing they went into was, I think a lot of us know that this was going to happen was, because, Mike Ybarra is constantly streaming, was Battlegrounds Unknown. Now, this is definitely a huge win for Microsoft. It's a really popular game on PC. A lot of people mess with this game on PC. It's extremely loved on PC. And it's relatively new, so it's picking up a lot of ground. They had the dude that developed it come out. He said that Microsoft's been good, helping him bring this game to their platform. So it's definitely a win that they got this game up there. I'm extremely happy that they got Battlegrounds up there. I'll definitely be trying it. I'm pretty sure it's $29.99. It's going to be 30 frames, so we'll see how the game runs on console. I've heard it doesn't run the best on PC, but maybe they'll optimize it better to run on console. Who knows? So next thing I have a little rant was State of Decay 2. So State of Decay was shown. I feel like this is one of the very few games Microsoft has that a lot of people sleep on. And because the first one was a $20 arcade game and it looked really low budgeted and, it wasn't even up par with the graphic style then, but it sold well. For an arcade game, this game sold extremely well. And I played it and I absolutely loved it. And it kind of frustrates me that no one really gives this game a chance. So I went into E3 with, yo, they're going to show everyone up when it comes to State of Decay 2. This is not the case. They show, in my personal opinion, they showed a really bad representative of this game. The game wasn't bad, what they showed. But I felt like they did like a slideshow and, they explained some of the mechanics and features of the game, but there wasn't full-blown gameplay. And I feel like that's what this game needed. Then they showed the Darwin Project. And what the Darwin Project is, it's like a Battle Royale game. They showed a pretty cool opening thing where some bow chick shoots, it just shows a little bit of, the fighting mechanics in the game. And then they had this some like lame, I wouldn't say lame, but it was definitely not appealing. Some dude like narrating the entire experience. Am I saying that's going to be a bad thing for the game and this game's bad? Nah, this game looks pretty solid, and I'm sure a lot of people on the Microsoft platform, you know, the Xbox platform, Windows 10, I'm sure a lot of people will pick this game up. Then they showed Minecraft. Now, Minecraft, at first I was like, this does not need to be on stage. They need to leave Minecraft alone, but they spent a lot of money on this franchise, and clearly they do not want to, you know, not showcase it. And it's coming to it's 4K is coming to the system on Xbox One X, the super duper pack, which, you know, as you can see, makes the game look pretty realistic, and a lot of people I can know, myself included, might revisit this game because of how this game looks. But the big thing that they announced was this game has cross-plat with Nintendo Switch, Androids, anything you could think of that has Minecraft. This game is cross-plat, and I think that is one of the biggest announcements that Microsoft did at the E3 conference. So that, and a lot of people completely misstepped that. I ain't really heard a lot of people talk about it, but the next game they showed, which really surprised me, was Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Oh, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And this game looks, I'm not a fighter, but I could tell that this game is going to have a huge presence this year. It might give Marvel vs. Capcom a run for its money. It might even dethrone them overall when it comes to EVO, you know, head-to-head competitors, you know, any kind of competition. Because a lot of people are messing with this game. You know, at the demo, they had 6 playable characters. As you can see, there's 2. I saw Majin Buu. I didn't really see a whole lot of this game, but I would definitely mess with this game. Next thing they showed was Sea of Thieves. Alright, you guys. This was a good showing of Sea of Thieves. A lot of people that didn't really want to mess with Sea of Thieves, after they saw this, they came around a little bit. And I'm one of them. I've always been a good Sea of Thieves person, but this showing showed me that, yo, Sea of Thieves knows what's up. You know, they're doing a good job over there. You know, that whole Black Skull thing that people over there at Ubisoft are making. I don't think this is a direct competition. I think it's a completely different game. But, you know, that's just my opinion. So next thing is Cuphead. Alright, Cuphead's finally got a release date. It's like September something or August, one of those 2 months. I couldn't find an image that had the release date on it. But, you know, I, for one, aren't really looking forward to this game. I might pick it up. I heard it's $19.99, which would be a good price for it. It would sell really well. So what do you guys think? Would you guys pick up Cuphead? Put it in the comment section below. Next thing, Crackdown. Crackdown 3, it started out with, you know, Terry coming out, you know, saying stuff like, today you dropping bombs, tomorrow you dropping buildings, and, you know, today you gonna throw grenades, tomorrow you gonna throw cars. You know, it showed throwing cars, it showed a lot of the destructible aspects of this game, like exploding grenades, big black holes that suck things in. But one aspect I was really disappointed with Microsoft is people weren't really downing the single player aspect of this game, and that's the part they showed. They wanted to know about the multiplayer part, and that's the one thing Microsoft didn't show. They showed the single player aspect. There was no huge destructible buildings in this game, and I feel like we'll see that at Gamescom, but I feel like by then, you know, Gamescom isn't really, you know, a lot of casual gamers watch E3. It's a really big convention in the States, so I figured maybe they would show it here, but they're gonna show it at Gamescom, which I hope it gets well received, because Microsoft needs this game to take off. Next one is, you know, they did Shadow of War. Shadow of War looks phenomenal. It looks amazing. It looks just as good as the first one. A lot of people were complaining about like the downgrade in visuals. I didn't really see that. I was there in person, so the game looked really good to me. I'm really looking forward to this. It comes out like October the 11th or something like that. It's real close to this to the Xbox One X, so that's definitely going to help it push sales. So I hope this game does good. Next thing was the new Ori. I did not play the first Ori, but I really, you know, I liked what I saw of it. I liked the visual aspects of it a lot. It was a very beloved game, and you could tell just by it getting a sequel that this game's going to do good. You know, there's some certain games that you feel that Microsoft's not supporting, but people have been proving them wrong. You know, they're doing stuff with Recore, they're doing stuff with Ori, they're even doing stuff with Halo Wars 2. They're giving it a whole new expansion. So clearly that, you know, these games weren't complete, you know, commercial failures. They did make money. Next thing was they announced another feature and backwards compatible with the original Xbox games. The crowd went wild. Me personally, this isn't for me. I don't understand why they really went crazy over this. I do understand. Maybe I'll have a better feeling when KOTOR is put in backwards compatible. I'll pick that up in a heartbeat. But until then, bravo for you doing it, Microsoft. But I felt like the resources you put into this feature could have went somewhere else. But I understand why you did it. You want that promise to your consumers that every game that you make, that you purchase on our platform, will go anywhere. Next thing was Anthem. Quote, the Destiny killer, unquote. How I feel about this game, I feel like, there's a lot going on about this game. They did confirm that this game, the whatever they showed on stage, the demo, was not gameplay. It was a scenario made with the game engine. So, further on down the line, we'll see more on Anthem to whether or not it is a Destiny killer. Who knows what it's going to be? It just depends on how they take on the project. They need more of an aspect of, story orientated, because that's the complaint from Destiny. The next, that's the whole show. They ended with Anthem. First thing I want to say is I feel like that for the most part Microsoft hit it out of the the park. They did a really good job with the messaging. They showed what was coming out. They've been answering to their player base's feedbacks. When it comes to software, when it comes to hardware, when it comes to their UI, they've been changing the UI to accommodate to the the Xbox ecosystem. Doing a really good job. They've been messing with the their smart app, the Xbox app. They've been doing that. The Windows 10's been getting updated. I don't have a problem with all that. I felt like they could have, when it came to Crackdown, I felt like they could have ended the show with that, to give a real good aspect of what this game's going to do. But obviously they didn't do that. They ended it with Anthem. And, people do make sense. They say, that's their biggest blockbuster. And I to a point I do agree with that. It's probably one of their biggest titles that was at their conference. But I felt like since they were launching Crackdown 3 day on day with Xbox One X, they should have ended the show with a more in-depth gameplay of the multiplayer. But that's just me. Another thing is I'm really disappointed how they did the State of Decay gameplay reveal. Since it's coming out next year, I could clearly see that maybe it's not ready to have a full-on reveal. They did like a snipper blitz thing where it shows some of the gameplay, and then like a comic book era thing where they show some of the features, some of the gameplay. I feel like a better on and on gameplay would have did this game more justice. But that's just me. Another thing that I really want to stress is I feel like this E3 was not made for the consumer. I feel like this E3, first off, E3's always been made for the the media, the devs. It's always been made to pass information between the industry to help cover this topic. But I feel like this E3 was dedicated to, one, making sure that third parties mess with Microsoft again, repairing those relationships that they had. Two, making sure that Microsoft and Japanese developers work together coexistently like they did in the 360. And three, just to show indie devs that we made some mistakes when we first introduced to the Xbox One, but we're making up for it with the ID at Xbox program. They did a lot of indies in this showcase, so it definitely helped on that aspect. So when it comes to the overall game, what do I expect from Microsoft? I expect a decent Gamescom, maybe a new IP at Gamescom. I expect multiplayer at Gamescom. Microsoft is definitely going in the right direction. They're getting more Japanese-oriented games, more JRPGs. They're getting, some Bloodborne competitors, some Dark Souls games, that genre. They had a game for every genre, and for that I can respect them. I liked the conference. I thought it was a solid conference. There was very few games there that I would actually interest in picking up. I thought Ashton looked amazing, which I just noticed Ashton wasn't in the slideshow. My apologies. Ashton looked good. So here's the thing, you guys. I believe that Microsoft has the potential to really turn their brand around. Not necessarily, competition-wise, that come on top at the end of the generation. I think it's been pretty much decided who won this generation in terms of sales. I wouldn't go in terms of everything. I feel like Microsoft done a better job, with community feedback. They did a better job with software. They did a better job out of every aspect than maybe games and sales, and maybe games, because up until this year, Microsoft has had a new IP every year, But tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Tell me who you think won the game, the press conference, out of the out of the big three. Tell me what game are you most looking forward to. This is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.